You will receive a copy of the Employee Handbook, which has the following sections. You'll have to acknowledge receipt of all manuals. We'd like to welcome you to our company. If you're a new employee, we hope your new job will be rewarding and live up to your expectations. Early in your employment with us, you'll realize that we have set very high standards for you. If you're an existing employee, we want to express our sincere appreciation for your valued contribution that helps us build this company. The purpose of the Employee Handbook is to communicate to employees the rules of employment relationships and to provide a written tool for consistent policy administration. Additionally, written employment policies and practices will demonstrate your good faith and attempt to comply with employment laws and regulations. Most organizations consider a written employment handbook mandatory. The following is a listing of the employment policies, which we'll go in detail further in this presentation. The policy handbook will help introduce you to the company and applies to all employees of the company. These policies are presented as a matter of information only, and the contents should not be interpreted as a contract between the company and its employees. This handbook is not a complete policy and procedure manual for the company. Most of the company policies and procedures are detailed in various company handbooks and are available via the company's intranet or the company website. If you are uncertain about any policy or procedure, please ask your supervisor. Please understand the employer relationship and follow the written comments below. Your employment with the company is entered into voluntarily. You are free to resign at any time, with or without notice, and for any reason. The company is free to conclude the employment relationship at any time, with or without notice, and with or without cause. And this handbook is not intended to modify or alter the employment at will relationship in any way. The company expressly reserves the right to change any of its policies at any time. You may not rely on any policies that have been superseded. Changes will become effective on the dates determined by the company, and we will notify you of any changes by memorandum, posting on the website, intranet, bulletin board, or updating manuals. It is your responsibility to take note of these changes. The following are some definitions. Exempt is when employees are exempt from overtime pay. These positions meet specific tests of the Fair Labor Standards Act. Non-exempt is when employees who are paid a multiple of their regular rate for hours worked more than 40 hours in a week and 12 hours in a day. These positions do not meet exemption tests of the Fair Labor Standards Act. Management is where employees are designated by corporate officers that provide supervision and make the decisions necessary to meet the objectives of the shareholders. Regular full-time is where employees who work year-round and are scheduled to work 40 or more hours a week. Seasonal employees work during the construction season and may or may not be scheduled to work 40 or more hours. And orientation period, the first 90 days of employment in which all new employees are evaluated. Relatives, which include husbands, wife, parent, child, brothers, sister, sister-in-laws, and any significant other. It is the policy of the company not to discriminate against any employee or job applicant. No aspect of your employment will the company be influenced by sex, age, color, race, national origin, religion, disability, marital status, veteran status, or any other basis prohibited by law. All equal opportunity matters from any source shall be referred to the company president or vice president. The first 90 days of your employment is your orientation period. During this period, as during your regular employment, you and the company each have the right to terminate your employment with or without cause or notice. Upon satisfactory completion of your orientation period, you become a regular employee. The hours of work are normally Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. with 1 hour for lunch. Your required work hours may include overtime and may vary from week to week. Your supervisor will provide the schedule. See your supervisor for your lunch and other breaks. Each day, all non-exempt employees are required to properly fill in the time card with all the required information, including start and end times, rounded to the nearest quarter hour. You and your supervisor must initial any changes in your time card. Each day you're required to sign your time card and turn it to your supervisor. Your time card is the property of the company and the legal record of the hours you worked. Your personal record file contains information regarding employment. Information in this file may your employment application, resume, recommendations, change of status, corrective actions, and performance reviews. The file also contains information you must provide. You're required to notify payroll administration of any changes in telephone, numbers, address, tax status, and family status that may impact your employment benefits. The president or vice president will evaluate any case involving the employment of relatives. The company does not allow the employment of relatives when there is an actual or apparent conflict of interest, where one relative would exercise direct or indirect supervisory authority. If a relative would have access to sensitive information regarding another, that may be inappropriate. All employees are required to inform payroll administrator of any relatives working for the company and of any changes in the relationship of the employee. Regular employees must be 18 years of age or older. Occasionally, the company may hire students or interns who are 16 or 17 years old. Generally, performance appraisals are given once per year, and performance appraisals may or may not include a pay increase. On the promotional side, we recruit and hire the most qualified individuals for a particular job opening. At the same time, the company promotes from within. The company terminates employment because either the employee or the company no longer wishes to continue the employment relationship. And the company does not normally make severance payments. Any severance pay is given at the sole discretion of the company. The company attempts to pay competitive wages and salaries with those businesses in our community and industry. Wages and salaries are classified by position based on experience, responsibility, and physical and mental demands. Management review salary ranges once per year. Ask your manager or supervisor if you'd like to know the ranges for your position. All overtime must be authorized and directed by the supervisor. Non-exempt employees are paid time and a half for authorized hours in excess of 12 hours in one day and 40 hours in a week. Payroll begins on Sunday and ends on Saturday. Employees are paid weekly on the following Friday. If you turn in your card late, you'll be delayed in receiving your paycheck. Pay advances are not generally given. Payroll deductions are made from each paycheck to comply with federal and state laws and certain benefits. Your rate of compensation will typically be reviewed periodically. Pay increases, if any, will be based on your performance, attitude, not length of service. This section provides an overview of the company employee benefits programs. The complete description and official details of our benefit programs are in the company benefit handbook. See the office manager or plan administrator for a copy. The existence of these employee benefit programs doesn't mean that you'll be employed for the necessary time to qualify for the benefits or that your position qualifies for the plans and benefits. Federal law describes certain circumstances in which you may continue your group health insurance if you leave the company. You'll receive notice of these privileges upon termination. The following are the details of the Social Security program. This is the State Unemployment Insurance Program. The workers' compensation details. The vacation policy. The holiday listings. The paid time off details. The Education Assistance Program. Group insurance details. Life insurance. And the 401k details. The health and safety policy has about 25 different areas from training, safety representative, management responsibilities, first aid, fire, food hygiene, computer installations, and visual display units, people work on a company premises not employed by the company, and contractors. Safety is the responsibility of all employees, and all employees are expected to keep the company a safe place to work. The company observes all applicable safety laws, and no one will knowingly be required to work in an unsafe manner. The company's safety handbook you're responsible to become familiar with and obey these rules at all times. You can also learn more about safety on the OSHA website. The company values good attendance at work and is committed to improving the general well-being of its employees to achieve this. Although we aim to secure regular attendance, we do not expect employees to attend when they are unwell. It's recognized by the company that from time to time staff may require to be absent from their work because of illness. The length of time lost by employees through illness must, however, be monitored to ensure that each member of staff is able to do their job effectively and without putting themselves or others at risk. It is not the intention of the company to penalize the generally sick. However, it must be recognized that an employee who is medically ill to carry out their duties may not be able to continue in their employment. The Family and Medical Leave Act allows eligible employees up to 12 weeks of unpaid job protected leave for certain family and medical reasons, which include child care after birth, care of employee's spouse, child, or parent who has serious illnesses, a serious health condition that may make the employee unable to perform their job. See the Family and Medical Leave Act for more details. The Uniform Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act also provides certain rights to persons who perform duty, voluntary or involuntary, in the uniformed services and meet certain tests. There are no federal legal requirements for sick leave. Yet our organization are entitled 8 paid sick days after 1 year service. Non-exempt full-time employers are entitled to 1.846 hours of sick leave for each week they work of 30 hours or more. Part-time employees and non-exempt employees working less than 30 hours in a week are entitled to sick time accrual. The maximum amount of sick leave accrual is 8 days, and the unused sick leave accrual shall be forfeited. If you fail to notify your supervisor after 2 days of consecutive absence, the company may consider that you have resigned. Full-time regular employees may take up to 3 days of paid bereavement leave for death of an immediate family. The policy also includes domestic partner, step-parent, step-sibling, or stepchild. The employee must notify the supervisor of the expected dates of absence prior to taking leave, and supervisors may ask the employee to provide a certificate of death. Jury duty and court appearance is a very detailed policy. Therefore, contact your supervisor if this occurs. Employees working under a federal, state, or other funded grant are eligible for the same level of benefits as other employees, provided that the terms of the condition of the grant provide for such benefits. However, employees who work under a grant must take accrued vacation leave during the grant year earned and prior to the end of the grant period. Grant employees will not be paid for accrued vacation leave upon separation from their organization and must plan accordingly prior to departure or termination of the grant. Due to special circumstances as determined by the Vice President of Human Resources, employees may be granted leave without pay. Please contact the Vice President of Human Resources for more details. Employees may take up to 5 days of personal leave per fiscal year. Personal leave is deducted from the accumulated sick leave and requires prior approval of your immediate supervisor. Personal leave is available for you to attend necessary personal business during regularly scheduled working hours. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. each election day. If you are scheduled to be at work during that time frame, The law allows you to take up to 2 hours off to vote without losing any pay. Employees have the responsibility to make a good faith effort to report work during adverse weather. In extreme weather conditions or emergency situations, an employee is permitted and encouraged to utilize leave privileges when encountering difficulty in reporting for work or when leaving work early due to these situations. The employee should notify his or her supervisor as soon as reasonably possible of any delay in reporting to work or an inability to report to work due to adverse weather. The personal conduct and corrective action has a number of areas. In a number of cases, the action is termination. Therefore, we have a separate presentation for you to watch. All reimbursement requests shall be submitted on the company employee expense report form. Expense reports must be signed by employee supervisor in order to be processed, and expense report checks are issued approximately on the 15th and 20th of the month. Employees' expense reimbursements will be delivered internally to the appropriate department. If additional paperwork is necessary to process a reimbursement, the expense report will be returned to the appropriate department. Partial payments for incomplete expense reports will not be issued. All entertainment reimbursement requests will be screened by the compliance with the travel and entertainment policy. Entertainment expenses shall be submitted on the employee expense report. All entertainment expenses should comply with the travel and entertainment policy will proceed for the payment. Only supervisory personnel are permitted to make purchases on a company's behalf. If your position with the company includes the use of a company vehicle, this vehicle is for the sole purpose of company business. Company vehicles may not be used for transportation of family members, friends, or hitchhikers. Company vehicles shall never be parked at a drinking establishment. Company gasoline and gasoline purchase will be using purchasing cards is the company's property and is for the sole purpose of company business. Personal use of company gasoline is considered a theft of the company's property and is grounds for termination. If you travel for the organization, please review in detail the travel policy. Welcome aboard. We hope you make some good friends along with successfully accomplishing the challenges within the organization. Let's work together to develop high-impact, low-cost presentations for your organization.